Awesome, awesome. I am so excited for this opportunity to talk with you. Just love your spirit, love your energy. For those who I haven't met, my name is Michelle Glover. I'm the chair of the Women's League of the Atlanta Black Chambers, and I am proud to say we are the largest group in Atlanta for Black women entrepreneurs. So let's give us a hand. Over the past years, we have truly grown this organization where we want our Black women to create generational wealth through entrepreneurship. We want our businesses to be blessings and not burdens. And so we have programming, calls every third Friday, program once a quarter, think tanks once a quarter. We just do a lot. And we had a social a couple of weeks ago. But I'm excited for this. I need you all to mark your calendar for September 20th. Put it on your calendar, September 20th, and then you say, Michelle, what's happening on September 20th? And then I say, our very popular, most anticipated event of the year, cocktails on the course. So you heard, thank you, whoever cheered. So you heard it here, very excited, so make sure you mark your calendar for that. Now, Ronic. So I just talked about Black women, entrepreneurship, and all the amazing things we're doing. And you are the first Black woman president of the Greater Augusta Black Chambers. Let's give it up for her. And also, you're the first woman president of the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers. So first tell me, just let us hear a little bit about Ronic. Who is Ronic?
Oh, who is Ronic, man? That's a loaded question, right?
I know.
Well, I'm a mother, grandmother, daughter of Ronald and Lana West, a philanthropist and a consultant and an advocate for the Black community is what I describe myself.
I love it, an advocate for Black communities. And so when we look at the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers, how many people know what that is? Okay, not a lot of hands. And we say, okay, we know the Atlanta Black Chambers, we know the US Black Chambers, and then there's what is this Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers?
So the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers came out of course, the elite Michael Hill's head. And so he really pulled the Black Chambers together across the state of Georgia. And it's covering the 12 regions. And so it's really to support the chambers and everything you see happening from a leadership perspective. And so some of the chamber presidents are in the room today. Can they stand up, please?
Yes, please.
I just want to acknowledge the team because that's really important. I know Melvin's running around here, Commissioner Hines, and then we have some representation from Athens as well, Theresa, but it does not work without the team. So I just want to acknowledge that, and then my GABCC team is in the building too, so Miss Shagrayla Hanman.
Awesome, I love it. And so we're seeing that you all, coming together, improving Black businesses throughout the state. Can you tell us some of the strategic initiatives of the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers?
Yeah, we consider ourselves the conduit between business, community, and government. Some of our initiatives is that we are launching a statewide program to train business owners, and that was funded first through Governor Kemp. So we are officially partners with Governor Kemp, which is huge, right? So round of applause for that, guys. Right. That's probably unheard of, okay? Yeah. And then we, of course, want to continue to expand that network. But that's one of the biggest things is really just supporting the organizations, getting their structure where it needs to be to support the Black business owners.
Yeah, and it's so funny because, that is an amazing move that you all are making, having that partnership with the governor. And people may say, oh, Governor Kemp, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it's nonpartisan, right? And it's all about not your color, blue or red, but actually green. And what is gonna help increase Black businesses across the state. So
right.
I love that.
I think it's really important to work on both sides of the aisle. We are in the Greater Augusta Black Chamber of Commerce. We're based in Augusta, but we cover the 18 regions in the CSRA. So we cover the state of Georgia and South Carolina. South Carolina is definitely a Republican state. So we understand about working across the aisle. With working across the aisle, we've been able to raise millions of dollars in our area, train over 1,500 business owners, provide $472,000 in grants.
Okay.
And we are launching a loan program as we speak.
Okay.
So we'll be announcing some approvals here soon.
Let's give
in
it
Augusta
up.
area.
I mean, you're just shooting numbers out, and I'm like, like, wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's very critical for anybody in this room to support Black chambers. The reason why I say that is we are in the rooms advocating for you whether you realize it or not. Artificial intelligence, I know that we had some of our panelists talk about that. I'm very passionate about it. I've been studying it for 5 years. It's going to re-skill jobs. And we are going to get impacted 5 to 10 times more than any other group. That means a lot of people are going to find themselves in the entrepreneur space, the self-employment space, and we have to be able to upskill and train our community so that we can continue to be the dynamic community that we are.
I love it. I love it. Let's give it up for Ronic. And I'm going to talk more about what you're doing. But, you know, you've shared some numbers and you're just really, oh, we're doing loans, we're doing this, millions. And I'm like, wait, what? And I want to talk about some of the successes you've had, not just with the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers, but also within the Great Atlanta Black Chambers. What have been some of your proudest accomplishments?
So in Augusta Black Chamber, that's what I was mentioning about the loans. It's really the 6 programs we ran from working across the aisle and providing those $472,000 in a secondary rural market. And you know how hard it is to get people to focus outside of Atlanta in the state of Georgia. Sometimes we jokingly say the state of Atlanta, right, Melvin? But we want to make sure that everybody knows that Georgia is a state. We have entrepreneurs throughout the whole entire state. We have business owners, Black community that need resources, they need training, they need support. And we have to do that to make sure our state continues to grow and stay great. And then we have to really get our businesses and our community prepared for all the changes that's about to happen around the nation.
I love that. My mom is from Augusta, so we used to spend summers in Augusta visiting my grandparents. Yep, go south side.
I'm from Indianapolis, so go Colts.
South side, go Augusta. So you talked about some of the successes. What about for the Black Coalition, for the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers? What have been some of the wins or successes that you're proud about in your presidency?
Yes, I think the biggest success right now is just seeing the chambers grow. I'll be traveling across the state with, you know, different Black business expos, First Friday events, and so forth, and just seeing the people in the room, knowing that the coalition and the leaders have supported each other unofficially for over 5 years. Now, officially, the last 2 years has been huge. Melvin was the first president. He came before me, and then I'm the first woman's president. Then we have Dwayne Johnson, who's my VP currently, who will be coming after me. And so just to see where they say we don't work together, the coalition is showing you that we work together.
Okay.
Okay, everybody, could you keep it down while we're doing the chat? Just help us out a little bit.
Thanks, Pops. I love it. But I mean, you know, it is great work that sometimes we take for granted, and that we're like, oh, things are happening, but we don't know the work that's being done behind the scenes. So, you know, we're definitely glad to have you in that role and the accomplishment and all the amazing things that you are doing for Black businesses. When you think about, you know, your legacy, so we talked a lot about legacy today and leaving our footprint. What do you want your legacy to be for Black businesses in Georgia?
Ooh, that's a loaded question. Black businesses in Georgia. How about the Black community as a whole in Georgia? Because I believe Black businesses are the backbone for the Black community. When we think about back in the 60s and before civil rights era, how we had communities that like Black Wall Street, even in Augusta, Georgia, off of Laney Walker, we had our own mini Black Wall Street. Those were the infrastructures that supported our community to have resources, to be able to do what they need to do for their families each day. We gotta get back to that, and I think that's going to happen. I think it's a new energy that's gonna happen throughout the Black community, maybe through some things that's gonna happen, and we're gonna have to be forced to work together, but I think it's gonna be good for us as a community to come together and really work. And then as far as the coalition and the chamber presidents, you know, we're working on a local, federal, and state level all the time with DC fly-ins, working with our local administrators and our state administrators to make sure initiatives are happening, not only in our communities, but also throughout the state of Georgia. So the work is happening. Support, support your chamber leaders, guys. I can't express that enough. And shout out to your team, Melvin. I was clapping over there because I know what it takes to run a chamber from building one from scratch myself. So shout out to the team, ABC.
Oh, all right. And so one of the takeaways she shared, people say, well, can I join the Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers? And really she's saying, get connected with your local chamber. How many people are non-members of the Atlanta Black Chambers? And don't be ashamed.
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. You're going to join today, right?
Right, you're going to join today. So make sure you go to AtlantaBlackChambers.org to become a member of the Atlanta Black Chambers, really sow seeds into this organization so then we can sow seeds into the greater Georgia Coalition of Black Chambers.
And I like to close out with a little, I think it's my first time being in Atlanta, the Atlanta Black Chamber, so thank you for inviting me, Melvin. And I'm going to close out with what we say at GABC. Remember, we are one community and one voice. Thank you.
I love it. Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Ronic West, please. Thank you.